Hey guys, Ironhammer here with my first impressions of the game Dirty Bomb. Now, Dirty Bomb is a free-to-play, fast-paced first-person shooter from Nexon Games, the same guys that brought you Dragon Nest and MapleStory. It's currently on open beta on Steam, and there's a link down in the description below if you want to check it out. Gameplay-wise, it's hella fun. Each character or merc in the game has a different set of skills ranging from detection, artillery fire, healing, and special arsenals. There's even a character that has the ability to deal with objectives at a significantly faster rate. The loadout system for each merc is fairly unique in this game, as you get them as cards. The cards themselves also come with different levels, ranging from the entry-level lead that has some pretty decent perks and pretty decent weapons and perks. Then there are the iron, the bronze, silver, gold, cobalt, and the rarest obsidian. I came across one medic sporting a cobalt class loadout, and she was absolutely wrecking us. The cards themselves come with different weapons and different sets of perks. One gripe I have about the system though is that you cannot mix and match the weapons and perks with each other. Basically, you're stuck with whatever's on the card that is dealt to you. You get these by either earning or purchasing regular cases and elite cases. I'll be doing videos on each character over the coming weeks, so now is a pretty good time to hit the subscribe button if you'd want to learn more about that. Unlike most shooters of today, hip firing here is greatly encouraged, as you have to constantly move to take less damage and deal some of your own. The damage model is also something to take note of. It takes a good while to take down an enemy, especially if it's a Rhino or Skyhammer. You would normally find yourself emptying more than half of your clip just to take down one guy, which some players might have a hard time getting adjusted to, especially if you come from games like Call of Duty or Insurgency. But there's a reason behind that madness, and I'll get to that in a moment. Each match is an objective-based team operation pitting 8 players against 8 players. Each player selects 3 mercs and a loadout for each. Not everyone is unlocked right on the get-go, so you'd be pretty much dependent on the mercs you have already hired or purchased, or whatever's in free rotation. It's similar to the free hero rotation they have for Heroes of the Storm and League of Legends. Matches are heavily dependent on team play. You'd have to be storming the objective to really make the most out of your weapons, again with that damage model. While the Rhino with his Gatling gun is fine for going solo and taking out multiple enemies, it's a better idea to stick as a team and focus fire on enemies to significantly reduce their firepower. Each merc needs to make use of their special skills to get a good edge over the opposing team. Medics have to drop healing station, fire support needs to drop ammo packs, and the objective-oriented mercs like Bushwhacker and Proxy need to run in to tend to the objectives. I can say that this is a pretty fun and fairly addictive game to play. I've been already at it for a few days now, and it's sort of a fun way to pass the time. It didn't hurt that the game is also free. Personal thoughts I have about this game. I like it a lot. It's kinda obvious at this point. The graphics are fine for the art style they're going with, and the gameplay was pretty much smooth and fairly intuitive. The maps aren't exactly hard to get familiar with. After a few hours into the game, I already learned certain vantage points and routes that I could take advantage of to get to the objectives. Certain pinch points here, certain flanking locations here, and ways to get around when they get through the first objective. The game is pretty sweet, but I have some minor issues about it. First is, while I understand that this is in its beta phase, I wish that there was a decent matchmaking system in place. While there are servers that impose their own level caps, most servers don't. It really makes the game one-sided pretty fast when a Cobalt card is in play, while most of our teammates are running the lead and iron class loadouts. It's just really not fair for us. They do a heck of a lot more damage than we do, and I'll show you why. Referencing to that medic that was slaughtering us, Aura. Aura has probably the lowest HP in the game at only 80 hit points, but she managed to wipe the floor with us pretty often. It could be due to excellent station placement, but mostly due to basically being on the receiving end of a higher class weapon. Implementing the loadout-based matchmaking system could help us out a bit in preventing very one-sided matches. One game that has this is Ghost Recon Phantoms. On another small gripe, and it's just nitpicking at this point, is the loadout system. It creates a necessity to grind a game or purchase cases if you want a good loadout, but even with that, you're stuck with what are basically presets. I would have liked to have a good level of customization for my character so that I could better adapt it to my playstyle and tactics instead of having to bear with whatever is on the card and exclusively what's on the card. Now, to be fair, the loadouts on the cards aren't too bad. The combinations are pretty useful, but then again, customization would have been a bit better, especially since you couldn't really customize anything else on your character at the moment. You basically look like the other guy. But who knows? Maybe it could be in a future implementation of the game. It's still in beta, it's pretty early to say, but so far it's really stable. Lastly, and this is another nitpicking comment, is the way that they set up voice events in the game. I'm not talking about the stuff mercs yell out during matches, but I'm actually just taking issue with the way objectives are explained to defenders before matches. Adding, if you fail, fall back to such and such would make the introductions have more sense instead of saying, defend this, then defend this, then defend this.
First, don't let them get the EV to the GH building. Then defend the research lab. Finally, don't let them get the drug samples to the container.
It's like they're saying, okay, you're gonna fail this, then you're gonna defend this, and then fail again, and then you're gonna fail this one. Probably hope so. I hope you can defend it. So it's sort of like that in how it was set up. So maybe a bit more effort on the writing side. Add a few lines here, it would make much more sense. Especially since there are some times that the attackers will not get through the first objective, and the explanation in the intro would have been for nothing. You know. And that's all I have for you today on Dirty Bomb. If you're looking for a new shooter to try out this weekend, I still highly recommend this shooter because it's just a lot of fun to play, and I honestly prefer it over some AAA games I know and own. So there's that. Well, you know, kind of fun. And it's free. Come on. You gotta be kidding. It's fun for a free game. It's pretty good. Also, hit the subscribe button as I'm going to be covering other parts of this game soon on this new channel. So a like and subscribe would be very much appreciated at this point in time. Thank you so much for watching, and happy hunting.